Across the pages of history, war remains an enduring constant. Throughout the ages, numerous conflicts have unfolded, each leaving a profound imprint on the world we live in today. Wars are started and exist due to a combination of complex factors that often involve political, economic, social, and cultural elements. World War I, 1914 to 1918. World War I, also known as the Great War, was a global conflict that lasted from 1914 to 1918. The war originated in Europe, and its immediate trigger was the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary in Sarajevo on June 28, 1914. Franz Ferdinand was the eldest son of the Archduke Charles Louis, who was the brother of the Emperor Franz Joseph. The death of the heir apparent, Archduke Rudolf, in 1889, made Franz Ferdinand next in succession to the Austro-Hungarian throne after his father, who died in 1896. On June 28, 1914, Franz was in the Austro-Hungarian province of Bosnia and Herzegovina, accompanied by his wife, Sophie. He was there as Inspector General of the Imperial Army. The date chosen for this imperial visit and Habsburg show of force was June 28th, a black date in Serbian history. It was the anniversary of the Turkish victory over Serbia at the Battle of Kosovo in 1389. This fanned the flames of dissent among Serbian nationalists even further. The royal couple were traveling in a motorcade through Sarajevo in an open-topped car, despite the fact that several would-be assassins awaited along the route of their pre-announced stops. Shortly after 10 a.m., amid cheering crowds lining the wide avenue called Apel Quay, one of the attackers, Nedeljko Kabrinović, threw a grenade at the royal couple's car. The bomb bounced off the back of the vehicle and exploded behind them, injuring members of the entourage who were in the next car and peppering bystanders with shrapnel. Following the planned reception at City Hall, the couple wanted to visit the local hospital to get checked over. The driver starting off in the wrong direction, down the very avenue where the conspirators were still present. When the royal motorcade entered a side street and stopped to turn around, a compatriot of Kabrinović, 19-year-old Gavrilo Princip, seized his opportunity. Approaching the royal couple's open car, he shot both Franz Ferdinand and Sophie with a Browning pistol. The driver of the couple's car then sped off for medical help. Sophie died en route and Franz Ferdinand died shortly after. Princip tried to shoot himself but was apprehended by bystanders. All of the conspirators were eventually found and arrested. Exempted from the death penalty because of his young age, Princip was sentenced to 20 years in prison, where he died from tuberculosis in 1918. Anti-Serb protests and riots followed throughout Austria-Hungary in the wake of the assassination. 1 month later, on July 28th, Austria-Hungary declared war on the country seemingly behind the murders, Serbia. This set the Triple Alliance, Austria-Hungary, Germany, and Italy, against Serbia's allies in the Triple Entente, Russia, France, and Britain. Momentum became unstoppable, sparking one of the deadliest conflicts in history, World War I. Once the war begun, the terrible casualties sustained in open warfare meant that trench warfare was introduced very quickly. Trenches provided a very efficient way for soldiers to protect themselves against heavy firepower, and within 4 months, soldiers on all fronts had begun digging trenches. World War I witnessed the introduction of new and devastating technologies, including tanks, machine guns, poison gas, and airplanes. These innovations changed the nature of warfare. The Battle of the Somme, fought in 1916 between British and French forces against the Germans, resulted in extensive casualties on both sides. It is known for being one of the bloodiest battles in history. The war contributed to the Russian Revolution of 1917, leading to the overthrow of the Romanov dynasty and the establishment of a communist government under Vladimir Lenin. The United States initially pursued a policy of neutrality, but due to unrestricted submarine warfare by the Germans and the interception of the Zimmermann telegram, the U.S. entered the war on the side of the Allies in 1917. The war ended on November 11, 1918, with an armistice. The Treaty of Versailles, signed in 1919, formally ended the conflict. The treaty imposed heavy reparations on Germany and set the stage for future geopolitical tensions. World War I resulted in approximately 10 million military deaths and 7 million civilian deaths. The war had a profound impact on the global population and left lasting scars on those who lived through it.